Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch, and I brought my cheering audience in with me. Good to see you this morning. Thought I'd try to get it off to a rousing start. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. Drink it if you got it, guys. All 21 of you. Holy cow. Ah, there we go. 36 now. Ah, always good. Always good. Ah, yeah. Well, good to see everybody. Good to see you all this morning. I imagine more people will be piling in as we go. The chat's pretty busy, and they didn't do away with my chat from last night. Had a private community live stream last night. It was great fun, and right after that, I put up this video for this morning, and immediately Peter chimed in, and he was first. He was first, and. Congratulations, Peter, last night. And congratulated by Michael Pregler, says, good job. Here I am, disappointed, chimed in, I'm not first. And the usual suspects showed up last night. Lady June at midnight, and Arlene Blackwood, 2 o'clock in the morning. Don Chager, 2 o'clock in the morning. Wow, wow. Graceful Lily, 2:56 a.m. And Mike Shilley, 4:25 a.m. Man, nobody sleeps. Nikki is here. Tina at 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, now people start getting up, and Wayne at 5:44. Francine Bourgeois chimed in at 5:51. And that was the end of the early birds. And we'll get back to the rest of you in a few minutes. How you doing? Good to see you all. Anybody seen the Animal movie yet? Tell me what you think. It's out today. It's on Amazon for $5, which is not unreasonable. I did want to mention that as I was searching around to see where that new animal movie is playing, I came across another one that was just released from Carnivore, a channel named Carnivore Muscle. Now, I don't know if he produced this movie or he's just playing it on his channel. It's called Meat Heals, a movie about the carnivore diet. Another one, 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Let me see if I can find the thumbnail for that real quick over here. Give me a second. Let's see. No, it's not going to come up on this browser. Check it out. I watched about half of it this morning. I was curious. Well done. Jam-packed with information. Yet another documentary, though, with the same information. That's the 10 or 20 that are already out there. They talked about the evolution of the human diet, the fact that we're meat eaters for the first 99.9% of the time our species was on this planet, and it was only until the last instant of history we decided we were smarter than Mother Nature, and we don't need all that meat. It's bad for us and fat. And they go down the road of how we got here. All the same thing. Ansel Keys, John Kellogg. I mean, it's just, if you've been around, you know it. But the problem is, the only people that know it are those of us that have been around. It's just all foreign to everybody, including the medical community. Whoops, wait a minute. Very important that I get the right sound effect in here, because I said I was going to. Very important to the medical community. There you go. Any of these things are great for us to watch. It just reinforces what we know. But in reality, that's not the problem. We already know it. The problem is getting your mother, your father, your kids, your friends, your aunts and uncles, everybody else in your sphere to pay attention to this stuff, because they've been thinking you're an idiot all this time. We need to figure out how to get the word out there. We don't need more repetition of the word for those of us that have had the word, 100 times already. I admire everybody that keeps making these documentaries. There's an incredible amount of work. And just look at what Curry's doing. And I love him, but did Ken Berry say anything new in this new animal documentary that he said in what he's going to have in Curry's documentary, that he says every day on his YouTube channel, that he says in his private community? Is there one word that is new information that would be vital for you and I to hear? And you won't find that in a documentary trying to establish the basic logic behind being a carnivore. So kudos to everybody who makes these documentaries. Now we have to figure out a way to get the 99.9% of the other population to click on it, turn their heads, pay money to see it in a movie theater. That's the problem. Do I have the answer? If I had the answer to that, I would be the highest paid marketing executive on planet Earth. So obviously, I don't have the answer, but somebody needs to figure out a way. Robert F. Kennedy, so far, in his lofty position in the government, isn't getting it done. He's not getting it done. The opposition is just too strong. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. On the home front, on the technical front, I figured it out finally, why every once in a while I would disappear. I would disappear while I'm doing this live stream. And the answer lies in something I didn't even realize was there because I'd never used it. I'm going to see if you can see it here. On this mouse, there are two buttons. See them there? Two buttons. Right up top on the side. And this is a right-handed mouse. So the idea is when you're using it in your right hand, they are back buttons. I've never had a mouse that had back buttons before, but this one, sometimes we just get too many features that we don't want, and they get in the way. Well, when I use this mouse with my left hand, my ring finger on my left hand kind of normally drapes down across those buttons, and they're very sensitive. And sometimes it always happened when I moved the mouse to the left, it pushes against that finger, and that finger pushes the back button, and it's adios, Mitch. And then I have to spend a few seconds, well, maybe 30 seconds, getting back in. So I got this mouse this morning. This is a basic, cheap $12 mouse. Logitech has 3 buttons. Got the 2 buttons up here. It's got the scroll wheel. It's got no buttons on the side. It's got nothing I can accidentally hit. So I took and I replaced this mouse with the other mouse. I joined it to my stream Bluetooth. It worked fine. It was working great until 63 seconds before I needed to go live. I moved the mouse at a point it wouldn't move. I don't know if the battery died. It lost its Bluetooth connection. So in the minute before this show started, I was scrambling like crazy to get the other mouse back, turn it on, make sure it's working, and I thought I would have a worry-free broadcast this morning, not worried about actually dumping myself out, but I'm stuck with this. But I'm going to try to keep that ring finger up in the air, like this, like some sophisticated person drinking their coffee and keeping their pinky finger elevated. You know, that is sophisticated. So there's still a chance. And if I do go away, hang in there. You'll see the coffee cup up in the corner. That won't go away. You're still connected. We figured that out in the private community last night, and I tested it, and sure enough, boom, away I went. That left Lewis L in charge. I don't know what went on in the few seconds I was gone, but when I got back, everybody was laughing about it in the chat. Yeah, what a bunch you guys are. All right. Do I have it? I think that's it. I don't have a lot of show notes today. I've been up since about 5:30. Watched a little Kilts this morning. And then I went searching for something new, and I found that documentary called Meat Heals. Very well done. It says everything. The problem is it says everything in 90 minutes. Most people in 90 minutes cannot simply absorb that amount of information, of things that they are programmed to think are wrong, put all the pieces together, and come out the back end saying, wow, I'm going to go on this carnivore diet. But I think there's another arsenal in our tool to spread the word, because that's what we have to do. This might be a good documentary. I'm going to watch the animal documentary. I'm going to spring for the $5. If you guys can spring for $5 to buy me coffee, which I'll put the link up there. There it is. I'll certainly spring for $5 to watch that movie so that we can talk about it. And I'd like anybody else that has seen it or plans to see it to let me know. Let me know. MP says, wow, it's flattering, MP. Thank goodness you are here for us today. And I am going to be here on Monday morning too. So the way it stands now, the only mornings I won't be here are Thursday and Saturday. Saturday, I don't want to conflict with Rick, and I need a day off anyway. I may do Thursday mornings too. Yesterday morning, I was sitting around and I said, why aren't I live? I got nothing else to do. I'm awake. So I'm thinking about going back to 6 days a week. We'll see. I'll do Monday next week. We'll leave Thursday to be decided. And if you guys keep coming and you guys keep watching and you enjoy this as a morning meeting place for like-minded people, chat, and my God, you do chat. I'll host it. Try to bring some entertainment to it. Or at the very least, drink a little coffee and be one of the community. talking about the things that you're talking about, because there's a tremendous amount of good stuff that happens every day in this chat. It's a great community, and we have a wandering, like a wandering band of gypsies in the morning. So many of you are in Kilt's stream. Then comes my stream, and immediately after my stream, Thomas usually jumps on, and he's got a dwindling smaller amount of people hang in there and keep going from stream to stream, and I think it's terrific. I also think maybe some of us, and me included, and I hope to get more of a life when my recovery gets better. But we need to get a life outside of this. Some of us. Let's see who's here this morning. Yumara Jamil, first one in after 7 o'clock. How are you doing today? What's the update on the caffeine adjustment? Yes, I am. I am not drinking caffeine now. I'm over any withdrawal, I think. I feel great. I have 1 at most 2 cups of decaf a day. I don't feel any boost when I drink the decaf, so there's not enough caffeine in there to do any good. I think I've started to remanufacture my own neurotransmitter chemicals that the caffeine replaced in a quantity that it should be. So my energy is hanging around longer, and yes, I get tired mid-afternoon. That's just from the stroke recovery, I'm sure. I am not right now. I have decided not to try to introduce carbs. To me, the only reason I would introduce carbs is if there was nothing else I could try to bring my energy up. But I had thought that was what it was early on. Talked a lot about it. Kept looking at different people's opinions. And the one that I think, as long as my energy still isn't low, is that I do better without the carbs. I did 2.5 years. So many people warn you can't do it forever. So many people are doing it forever. We're all individuals. It's hard to say. But right now, it doesn't mean I won't change my mind again. It all depends on how I'm feeling. Everything has to be dictated by my health and how I'm feeling. But I'm doing pretty good right now. So don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat. Mike Seeley Senior from Melbourne. Hi, Michael. How are you? Good to see you this morning. Sandy Blythe is here. Sandy Blythe says, how the hell are you? Well, I'm the hell great this morning. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it. And Rick, 1 hour to quack time. Yes. Charger Mopar again and again. And Terry Sue chimed in. How you doing, Terry Sue? Says, I can start early if I want to. I was here. I was ready to go. Richard Williams chimed in at 8:02. And Lori is here. Hiya, Lori. I like this. I'm awake, I'm sleepy, and I'm spectacular. I like that. I like that. I'm trying to remember where that line about who it was, some woman in a movie. Was it Seinfeld or was it? It was a line from a movie. It'll come to me. But I remember that line. That's funny. And Laurie reminds us, today is summer solstice. It is the day with the most daylight. It is the beginning of summer. It is downhill from here, guys. The day's starting tomorrow, even though it won't be very much. will start getting shorter again. So enjoy this daylight while we got it. Tommy Vitarch, how are you at 8:12? Good to see you. Lori's Carnivore story. Today makes my 1-year carniversary. Lori, congratulations. Congratulations, sweetie. That's great. Get the gang to give you a cheer. And Aaron is here. Booby Goats, how you doing? Happy carniversary, Lori. And happy good morning, beautiful Mitch Fitz. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Sometime in August will be my 42-year carniversary. It's terrific, Rick. Terrific. 8:15 Smoothie chimed in. Good morning, Mitch, and all you Mitch Fitz with a Z. Nice day here in Indiana. Good to see you. Good to see you, Smoothie. Who else is new here? Tanya's with us. Hiya, Tanya. How you doing? Good morning, Mitch. Might have made me a morning person. That's the way you should be. We're supposed to be up with the sun and to bed as soon as it gets dark. Very few of us do that these days, but what else did the cavemen have to do? And we're 8:20. Peter chimed in. Hiya, Peter. How you doing? Lorraine McDermott from 8:22. So excited. I'm going to join live. Hit me up if you're in the UK. Yeah, Lorraine. Good to see you. Good to see you. Who else is new? We are at 8:25. Mama Bear chimed in. Mama Bear chimed in at 8:25. Claudia Burkick chimed in. How you doing, Claudia? Good morning to you. Claudia says, popping in for a bit, but got to go shopping. And as well you should. As well you should. They're counting on you out there. The stores will open their doors just so they can take your money, feed their kids. So do your job. 8:28. Okay, Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is here. Da. Captain America. Good morning from Kansas City, Missouri. Good to see you, Steve. How you been? How you been? Good to see you. A lot of chat before the start time, says Sandy Blythe. Apparently, Mitch is loved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And don't forget my Carnivore links page. All good stuff on Amazon. Get this out of the way. A shameless plug. Put my Buy Me a Coffee link in the chat. Thank you very much, everybody. You don't have to do it every day. You don't even have to do it. But those of you who do it, you have no idea. It's not just the money. It's the thought that I really, really appreciate. So there's the link in there. Put it up at the top of the chat. So should the spirit move you, it's there. Where was I? I was Sharon McCabe. 8:29. Lori was at 8:29. Sharon McCabe also told us the longest day is today. And this is going to be tough to get all these sound effects going right. Let me start with these. You all know what that means. Rick, 8:30 on the money. Congratulations, young man. Good to you're on the ball this morning. Gary at No Slow must have been asleep. Joanne T, 8:30. Claudia Burkick said good morning again. Jason M, good morning, Jason M. Laurie chimed in at 8:30. Tina Schweikerath is here. How you doing? Good morning again. Michael Pregler chimed in still at 8:30. Tanya. Peter, 8:30 on the money. Brian Dish, 8:30 on the money. Smoothie, Kitchen, we should get Tanya. And the first at 8:31 was Lindsay. Good to see you, Lindsay. Okay, I'm going to start going down the chat looking for QQQs. If I don't see any, I'll just start reading the chat and commenting on what I see. See, Tanya congratulated Rick, says Rick won, she said, question mark. Imagine that. Terry Sue says, Mitch, you need to find a goat sound. Lots of booby goat students here too. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, I heard Gary says, yeah, no excuses, Gary. No excuses. I was distracted this morning watching Rick's bike ride, he says. That's the recent chat. That's the recent chat. Jim W's here. How are you in DS111? How you doing? Let me say hi to some of these new people that chimed in. Stephanie Portalance. Good to see you. I don't recognize that name. Good morning to you and welcome. Welcome. Stick around. It may get ugly from here sometimes, but it's usually okay. Cordelia's here. Good morning from Albany, New York. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Barry. Barry Simon says, good morning, Mitch. Good morning, Barry. How you doing? Good to see you. Mary M is here. Danny in Boston is here. Wow, wow, wow. Michael Pregler got down to the science. I'm in bed at 8:30 at night and wake up 4 every morning. That's a great schedule. Great schedule. I'm usually in bed by 10, and I'm usually up by between 5 and 6, and that's perfect for me. Perfect for me. I can't sleep any more than that. If I try to stay in bed, it just ruins me. Just get drowsy. I do have energy in the morning, and it wants me to get going. I also stopped drinking any coffee before 8:30 when I do the show. Not that there's any caffeine in it, but I am subscribing to a lot of the advice that you hear that says we all have certain things that happen in the morning. We have dawn effect. We have a rise in cortisol, rise in adrenaline, other things that get you up and out there. There's big, hairy animals to hunt. There's spears to sharpen. The sun is up. The clock starts on the time you have to find food because it's that important. We still have that same imperative. We didn't always have a refrigerator and freezer full of food. So our bodies do that. And anything, I think, that we do to interfere with that, it's got to have some detrimental effects. So I heard this from Andrew Huberman years ago. He talked about this. He says, you got to have coffee. Wait at least till a couple hours after you wake up and let your body go through all this. And that makes sense. I haven't always, a lot of things make sense that I forget and don't adhere to, but I readopted that little bit of information, and I felt much better. And my energy has lasted longer now that I'm off the caffeine and not drinking coffee early. So that's my current opinion on coffee. And like the world's opinion, today coffee is bad for you, tomorrow's coffee is good for you, the next day it's bad for you. Everybody keeps changing their mind. That's because there's good and bad to it. So it depends on which you're focusing on any given day. I saw a video that says the 9 benefits of drinking coffee. And then Anthony Shafee comes up and says, oh, no, that stuff will kill you. And here we are. We're all just trying to figure out what's the right thing to do. And for every yay, there's a nay out there. Everybody's divided on virtually everything, except eating meat. We're not divided on that. 99.9% of the people in the world think it's bad for you. A few lunatics like us think it's good for you. So we are definitely a small, revolting minority in that respect. I want to go over something. I take a minute away from the chat here, and in order to do that, I will fill up the whole screen, which is probably better anyway. If you want to see the chat, I think you can probably see it, and you participate in it, and this way you get to see more of me and this pretty background of a nice coffee shop along a street in a big city. God knows where, but I like it. I like it. I got this letter. Yesterday from Health First. Health First Medical Health Plans. It said Health First Health Plans. Dear Mitchell Weiss, thank you for being a valued member. Health First Health Plans. Now, Health First is one of the biggest health providers in Central Florida. They administer my Medicare Advantage plan, which I hardly ever use because I got the VA, but I got this. Doesn't cost anything. So I have it as a backup. Plan, but I never really use it. They always consider the VA as my primary. Let's face it, I don't care what you're doing. The government's paying for it. The taxpayers are paying for it one way or another when you're on Medicare. Because when you're on Medicare, the government has pretty well committed to be your insurer, and and your Medicare may be administered by a private health insurance company, but they're just in for the money, and they get a big lump sum payment every month to have you on their rolls and administer your health care. More often than not, they get a lot more money than it costs them. So the Medicare Advantage plan is a great way for private insurers to make a fortune. Health First, not the least of them. So, like everything else in this world, I started reading this letter, and I started, go, because it made me nauseous. This letter could just as well have been written by a company that provides you extended car warranty service. It could have been written by that mechanic that works at the gas station on the turnpike that squirts oil all over the undercarriage of your car and then tells you you got serious problems and it's going to be very expensive to fix, and then rips you off. This letter could have been written by any one of the 100,000 scam artists that sends you and I phishing, scam emails and phone calls every day. It's the same story. It's a racket. We know what it is. It's big pharma and just doing their thing off the backs of big food and big propaganda from the government, and we know what that is. And the more I read of this, the more disgusted I got. And it said, Health First Health Plans is committed to improving your health and wellness. Line number 1. This includes making sure you get the care you need when you need it. And this is the funny part. It looks like you haven't chosen a primary care provider yet. Choosing a primary care provider makes access to care easier. Having a primary care provider means you're letting the medical community sink its claws into you, sell crap to you, misinformation that you don't need, that makes you sick, and then they will happily treat you and have you in their office on a regular basis getting blood work and tests. And every time they do one of those things, they're like the car mechanic squirting oil underneath your car. They are finding problems where none really exist. And if they exist, they're only in the minds of these people because they don't know what they're doing. Stay away. There's an entire page of what they call benefits, the reasons that I need to have a primary care. Personalized care, better coordination, fewer surprises, support with chronic conditions. And that's the big one. If you have conditions like diabetes, asthma, high blood pressure, or heart disease, your PCP can help you manage them effectively with regular check-ins. They've made you sick. They've given you diabetes, given you all these high blood pressure, heart disease. Now, they don't want to cure those. The word cure doesn't appear anywhere on this page. All they want to do is help you manage them. That is such a crock. And they got us all taken in. How many people got this letter yesterday? Your PCP will also make sure you're up to date on vaccines, health screenings, and wellness exams to keep you healthy. Said the gas station guy on the turnpike who says, wouldn't hurt you to stop in here every 3 days because you're driving right by on the turnpike. And let me take another look at your car to make sure something hasn't happened since the visit 3 days ago. Because that way we can maybe head off. And every time you come in, he finds a new problem or causes a new problem and then brings it to your attention. And you now have a problem you didn't have. That is the healthcare system we have. Save for the people that can respond to true emergencies, car accidents, broken bones, burns, stuff like that. But as it applies to metabolic health, they are ripping us off, and 90+% of their business comes from milking this metabolic health for all it's worth and keeping you dancing like a puppet on a string. Then it tells me how to choose my primary care provider. And then it says, warm regards. I can't pronounce this doctor's name. Khadija Korebaa, MD, medical director, Health First Health Plans. Then they tell me how good they are. Health First Health Plans has been rated 4 out of 5 stars for 2025. And as usual, as is usual with important documents that I get in the mail from people as important as my healthcare providers, as important as it is, I file them appropriately. So should I ever need them, I can always lay my hands on them. All right. Little detour there, but I get those things, and these people are basically bragging about how they're ripping us off, killing us, making us suffer, over-medicating us. They brag about it and tell us how much they care and want to bring us in for even more visits, more tests, and everything else under the guise of, we care about you. We care about you. It is criminal. It's a racket, folks. It's a racket. And they don't even know it's a racket. That's the problem. Most of those people have no idea what they're doing. They're good people. They're convinced, that dietitian is convinced that when she tells you don't eat fat and avoid red meat and eat soybeans, that she is helping you. They're not evil. The evil comes from the top. The policymakers, the corrupt government people, the bigwigs of the food and pharma company. You really understand the dynamics of this and how it works and what they're doing. Those people are sociopaths. The world has always been full of them. It's full of them now. If this was just a matter of ripping you off and taking your money, that's one thing. If this is a matter of just conning you out of something that you can recover from, that's one thing. It's another thing. But we're talking about health here, suffering, pain, disease, and early death so that they can keep their machine going. And that's why I say somebody has to keep pointing this out. And I know it's a cliche, but rage against the machine and make sure the people recognize the machine for what it is, not the pretty face they try to put on it. My recent 3-week hospital stay, between the hospital and rehab, all of this, everything I've just said, was on display in full force. Full force. It was maddening. It was maddening. That's the reality. That's just our reality these days. All right, let me get back to you guys. Don Lee is here. Howdy, good morning, Mitch, he says. 8:35. Wow, I am really already about half an hour more behind over here. Let me see what people are saying here recently. Talking about making bone broth. CB is here. Hi, CB. Sandy, yeah, CB's heading to jail. No, don't get the wrong idea. He's a sheriff. Claudia Burkig is here. Lorraine McDermott, they're all talking. The Rage Against the Machine says, you were right about that. That's what it is. It's a machine. Tanya is talking right now, and that's what we got. That's what we got. Somebody's listening to me. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Sandy Bly says, hit the like, hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate that. You see movies like I do, DS 111, and you see them by yourself. You see them by yourself. Laura, you got to go on your own, he says. And Rick agrees with me, which I always like. He says, Mitch is right about documentaries. It's true. It's true. They're all out there. I've got links to 20 or 30 of them or more on file in my email archives. Links of YouTube stuff I've watched, and I said, I want to keep this. I don't ever go back to them, but I got them. On my website, I talk a lot about evolution. I get a lot of heat from the religious crowd. Sorry, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't want to change your mind, but as far as I'm concerned, it is a thing. There's too much evidence for it. So on my website, I have a page about that, and there are maybe 20 links to some great YouTube videos that pretty well take all the doubt out of how we figured out it was a real thing, and anybody can watch it if they want to. I've watched all the religious stuff all my life, making the case for that the Earth is only 6,000 years old and along those lines, and dinosaurs lived alongside man, and Fred Flintstone was real. I watched all that, and I didn't say you should change your mind. I just didn't make sense to me. Sorry. We all have to decide, but we can't force our thoughts and ideas on other people. We can talk about them, though, and if people don't agree, that's fine, too. And if you derive a lot of happiness and pleasure out of your beliefs, don't change them. Don't change them. Still talking about going to the movies. Hey, Jeff Johnson's here, the name you know. Hi, Jeff, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. My phone went off here. Somebody texted me. Let's see. Oh, my dentist. My appointment is coming up to get my teeth cleaned. That's going to be an adventure. Yeah, I went about a month ago and got a crown put on that tooth that broke while I was in the hospital. See, went in the hospital with a good tooth and came out with a broken tooth. Something in the food. And my son drove me. My dentist is in Orlando. It's an hour drive from where I am. I am going to drive myself on Wednesday. This Wednesday, I got to go to the dentist. I'll be there at noon. I'll leave for about 11, maybe quarter to 11, right after, my live stream will be over by then. And I will drive to Orlando myself. And it's a no-brainer. So easy to do. And no, I am not impaired. I can think. Let me tell you something. To the few of you who think because I had a stroke, I'm dangerous on the road. To you people, and I don't think any of you are here this morning, but to you people who think I can't drive, I'm a commercial pilot, number one. I have reflexes that are out of sight. Anybody thinks my brain isn't working and I'm not sharp as a tack right now hasn't been paying much attention. I may walk slowly, but there are paraplegics that are driving. There are people that have no legs that are driving. They use their hands. There are drunks, cell phone texters, just plain out lousy drivers out there. And somebody says to me, I'm dangerous on the road. I'm not. I'm perfectly aware. If I can sit in front of this computer, do these live streams every morning, or close to every morning, push all the buttons, know what I'm doing, keep track of all of this, keep track of all this stuff, I can certainly drive a car, especially a car like I have that has level 2 self-driving in it, where when I get on an interstate highway, I can push the button and sit back and watch if I want to. It keeps me centered in a lane. It's automatic cruise control. If I come up on anybody, it will slow me down. If the traffic in front of me is stopped, my car will come to a stop. I don't have to do anything, go for a ride. I do have to keep my hand on the wheel. It's not full self-driving, but and I know which buttons to push. I can get to them quickly, and my legs work, and I can get on that brake pedal in a millisecond. So please don't worry about me. I will tell you how it went when I get back. It's fun. Rick says we will never be mainstream. And I've told you many, many times that sadly, I don't think I'm going to live long enough for that. And there are many times I think that the current path that the human race is on with the corruption and greed and everything else, and just a sheer number of us, that we have passed the point of no return, and we're pretty much every man for himself. It's sad, but we have to do this, or we're going down the same path that all those other poor people are who bought and drank the Kool-Aid. Yeah, Brian, the word is out there. What we need to do is get the media and powers to spread the truth, not the same old lies. Well, we can't afford it, Brian. We can't afford it. And you know what I mean by that. The media and powers are bought by the highest bidder. These are people with no core beliefs or any desire to actually learn the truth. They just want to spread the message that they're being paid to spread. And I got news for you. Big food, big pharma, and big ag has a hell of a lot more money than tiny carnivore, which is what we are. Which is what we are. We can donate to so many causes. How can you fight the money? How can you fight? You can't. and they use the same money to buy the government too. I don't see many big changes at the FDA and the USDA lately, and yet supposedly we've got a believer as the Secretary of Health and Human Services or whatever he is, RFK Jr., and I still don't see changes or even legislation proposing the changes right now. Just trying to get rid of petroleum-based food dyes is about all they can do. I don't think that's going to solve the health problems of the human race right now. Sure, it's bad for you, but not nearly as bad as living on sugar, garbage, seed oils, and plant poisons, and avoiding the red meat. Rick needs to make a documentary. Yeah, Rick, that'd be a good idea. I'd watch it. Oh my God, I'm not even 10 minutes into the stream yet in this chat. Oh, wow. That's way back when I was talking about the documentaries. I'm going to have to go a little faster, guys. It's already 20 after. Holy cow. Wow. Let's see. I haven't seen any questions yet. Of course, I'm still way back in the dark ages of this stream when it just started. Alan B., new name. How you doing, Alan B.? Good to see you. Welcome. Everybody's just talking to each other. Who's this? The Goat Girl CR. Wow, I haven't seen that name before. Speaking of cooking shows, once again, folks, y'all want me barefoot in the kitchen. I make a kitchen video, boom. Phew. Even if it's just throwing a hamburger in an air fryer. Incredible. How many views I got right out of the gate. Out of my last 10 videos, that is firmly entrenched in number one. I don't know where it'll stop, but it's still going. It's crazy. It's useful, though. It's useful. Oh, hey, look at that. I grabbed my phone, and now I see it. It went ding. Oh, I did have some coffee this morning. Tanya bought me a coffee this morning. Thank you, Tanya. I didn't see that kitchen, which, Mitch, you can drive me anywhere, anytime, she said. You're on. And Jane bought me 2 coffees. Thank you, Jane, so much. Yes, Mitch, you are still sharp as a tack. Thanks for being the host of the Mitch Fits. Enjoy the new movie Animal on me. Oh, thank you. And I hope you all enjoy it. And please, I want to know your comments. The one thing I'm looking for is I want to hear from people that if they learned something watching that documentary that they hadn't heard previously, unless they're brand new to carnivore. In that case, that should be required viewing for anybody. All of those documentaries should be required viewing for anybody even considering this lifestyle. I should do that on my website. I should make a page because I have all that stuff archived. Make a page and say, starting carnivore 101. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this here. Look at this. That yellow thing right there, that yellow blob at the bottom. That's super chat. Says $9.99, $10 from Diane Jones, who just happens to be my daughter, for those of you that didn't know. A super chat for my daughter. Hi, baby. How you doing? How you doing, baby? To say hi to her. she watches a lot of my stuff, not all my stuff. My son, on the other hand, not so much. And Sandy says, Diane, very sweet. Terry says, hi, Diane, we love your dad. Diane Jones says, I forgot to raise something. Well, just put it in. You don't need to do another super chat, baby. Just put it in the, make another comment, another chat about what you were going to write. I'll read it out. But good morning to you. I usually check in the morning, and she says, because of this fact that I'm recovering from this stroke, and I'm still subject to a fall, living on my own. So in the morning, I usually text them, say, checking in, everything's fine. And if I forget, like I did this morning, she knows that she can usually just go on YouTube and see if I'm alive. And here I am. Just wanted to say hi and tell you how proud of you I am. Your recovery is miraculous. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you so much. There's nothing a father that means as much to a father other than their kids saying they're proud of them. It's usually the other way around. The fathers usually have to say they're proud of their kids. I am extremely proud of both of my kids. Sandy says, Diane, we love your dad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Terry Sue. Your dad is too stubborn to give up on anything. He's our I have that trait, don't I? Don't I? Maggie May says, in Ontario, they automatically pull your license for 1 year after a stroke. Yep. I don't know why they do that. I never even had, I'm sure if I had had a debilitating stroke where my cognitive functions were impaired, where I couldn't, they say, where are you? And I didn't know. They said, do you know what's the date? What day of the week is it? They do this to you like every day in the hospital. They check out your cognitive function if you've had a stroke. It's important that they know whether you're dangerous to yourself or not. Every day they ask you the question, do you know where you are? Yes, I know where I am. I'm in the Sea Pines Rehabilitation Hospital. Do you know what day of the week it is? Yes, it's Friday today. Yes, I know what day it is. Do you know the date? Yes, it's June the 20th. I know that. Do you know the President of the United States is? Yes, it's Donald Trump. Okay, your brain works. If I have failed, I never got anything wrong, but if I had failed that, they probably and should probably say, when you get discharged, don't drive until you've been checked out thoroughly for your cognitive abilities. So nobody told me not to drive. I didn't get any notice from the Department of Motor Vehicles saying, you had a stroke. We've been notified you had a stroke. Your license is suspended for a year. Never got anything like that. I leave it to Canada to do shit like that. You have freedoms in this country. They shouldn't take them away from you unless there's a reason. And I can understand if the medical community, the hospitals, your doctor, and I'm sure they would have it if they needed to, a standard operating procedure, a place, a website, a phone number, where they could let some authority know that you shouldn't be driving. Funny thing is, that wouldn't stop most people anyway. Do speed limit sign, keep them going slow? No. People don't obey those laws. What do they care? So, it's absurd. You shouldn't be driving. You're a hazard on the road. You had a stroke. Maybe I shouldn't be live streaming either. I am so hopelessly behind. I'm going to just real quick scroll through this. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to just look for questions because you all are just talking to each other. You don't need me for that. Here is a viewer named Lotto Retirement Strategist. Okay. A scientist on top of it. Welcome. Welcome. Scott Elliott's here. Says, good morning, everybody. Oh, here's somebody who's been watching Robert Kiltz, obviously. Insulin spikes are implicated in destroying the glycocalyx. Well, I have no insulin spikes. I have no sugar spikes. I have no diabetes. I have an A1C of 5.0. So, it doesn't apply to me. Lori wants a kiss sound effect, yeah. See, I can't help but read these things when they go by. And this Lotto retirement specialist wants to make sure I don't miss his posts. So he puts a question of this as, old guys, see my 2 previous posts. And you see how my cognition, how good and sharp it is? Lotto retirement specialist. I found your 2 previous posts. I said hi to you as a new user, and I found your question. Wow, wow, wow. Aren't I cognizant? Mm-hmm. That requires a sip of coffee. And, ooh, I want to make a sound effect. A little round of applause for me. You make good points there, a lot of retirement specialists. Sometimes, just so you know, in this live stream, by the end of the day, there's an enormous number of chats, enormous amount of information there. Full-time job just reading them. I might miss a chat. Sorry. I can't do all this and be on top of everything and know everything that's going on with 115 people. Can't do it. I think I do a pretty good job of it with no help. And at least I try to read everything, and I do answer every comment on the video. And when I watch the replays of my live stream, I read the chat. So I'll see it even eventually, even if it was there, because I feel like if you give me enough respect to watch me, I owe you the same respect in return, not to ignore you, unless you're a moron. In that case, it's easy. But I'm not talking to you. Not talking to you, Lotto retirement specialist, but we have our share of morons here. Robert Haug. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Mitch, did you ever check out how bad decaffeinated coffee is for you, Eagle? Yeah, Robert, I've checked it out. I've checked it out up one side and down the other. 50% of the people say it won't hurt you. 50% of the people say it's bad, and here's why. I'm sorry. That with all of them. I'm going to drink my decaffeinated coffee. I gave up the caffeine part of it, and I'm not going to live forever, and neither are you. If I gave up everything, everybody told me it was bad for me, I would be dead long. I would have been dead long. I would have starved to death long time ago. There's not enough food out there that somebody can't find a reason why you shouldn't eat. Not even pasture-raised, pan and massaged, as Skinberry says. Grass-finished cattle. Somebody will find something in the soil that the grass is growing in and tell you it's in the cow. There's a nanogram of it per 500 pounds of cow, and that nanogram of this substance in 500 pounds of cow is not good for you, so you can't eat cow anymore. Come on, people. Come on. None of us can protect ourselves. We're not supposed to. We're not supposed to protect ourselves. Those hazards were always there. Maybe not the modern hazards of sugar and seed oils, but the pathogens were always there. The bacteria, the viruses, the spores, the fungus, the stuff that is not good for a living cell have always been there. That is why we had to have something called an immune system to survive. And the way we're killing ourselves more than what some of the obscure things we eat that are supposed to kill us is we are not exposing ourselves to these hazards. We are disinfecting everything. We have helicopter moms. These kids today don't have a chance to have their immune system go to school, learn what the hazards are, and develop defenses against them. It's like a vaccine. They want to vaccinate their kids against everything, but they don't want to, in essence, vaccinate them against all the real hazards of the world, because they keep trying to obliterate the hazards before the kids come in contact with them. When I was a kid, my mother threw us out the door, said, go play. We went outside, played in the woods, ate dirt, rolled in dirt. We didn't wash our hands. We came home. We ate dinner. You wash your hands? Yeah. Somehow we survived. And as we got older, we were the ones that didn't get a cold every 5 minutes. We have an immune system for that. So whatever you're telling me is wrong with decaf coffee, I'll handle it. Obviously, I'm handling it. I'm 78 years old. I'm not going to live to be 150. None of us are. So enjoy yourself, accept a few small risks. That's what I do. If you agonize over minutiae about everything, and I can find you 1,000 videos on YouTube that tell you not to do something because it's not good for you. If you had to keep track of all that, the stress alone would do you more harm than the combination of all of that crap that they're telling you to avoid. So keep it simple if you can. Enjoy your life. Address the big things, and address them especially when you have a problem that you're trying to solve. And that's why I'm addressing the coffee now, because I have a problem with my energy waning. Probably just a stroke, common among most stroke victims. But I am not wanting to just ignore the other things that it could be. And I've just been sharing my process of thinking with you guys along the way. I very rarely, everybody gives me advice all day long. I very rarely take any of it. I usually thank people for their advice. Thank you very much. I'll consider it. Once at a blue moon, I say, well, that sounds, I'm going to investigate that further. Usually it's something I've heard 100 times already. Tanya, Goat Girl. Oh, okay, that's probably, I want to know all about Goat Girl. Dolly is here. Hi, Dolly. How are you? I quit coffee and my joints got much. Yes. I don't know if it's the caffeine or the plant toxins or maybe the kind of coffee you're drinking, maybe the amount of coffee you're drinking. Everybody's a little different. A little different. Dolly, respect. All right, I got to start going faster again. Otherwise, I'll read. I like to read the chats. I like to see what you're talking about. What am I up to? 9:13. I'm about 25 minutes behind. Catching up a little bit. Most of you are talking to each other, which is the reason that we exist here is the interchange of information. Lorraine says, we know you can drive. Mitch, we've seen it with our own eyes. Yeah, I've always been an excellent driver. I can't remember the last time I got a ticket or had an accident. It's been more than 20 years. I keep it at the 8 miles an hour over the speed limit. I'm usually the slowest guy on the road, but people are crazy out there. The kids are crazy drivers. We got so many people in Florida here that are tourists who don't know how to drive. We got the New York drivers and Massachusetts drivers, the European drivers. We got all of them out there on the highways making it into an obstacle course for the rest of us. It takes defensive driving to a whole new level. And somehow I managed to drive very well. And my reflexes, for a guy my age, I'll match against anybody. It's amazing. It's amazing. And that came from a lifetime of being a pilot. People don't realize piloting an airplane, especially in instrument flight conditions where you're flying through clouds, you can't see out the airplane. Everything has to happen from the gauges. They don't realize the coordination that takes and how important something called scanning is. And scanning is a technique where, and you don't think about it after a while. You look here, 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 there, and repeat. And you're constantly scanning because you've got to keep track of all these things that are happening in real time, and you have to pay attention to all of them. Well, in my driving, I do the same thing. It's a habit. You don't ever see me just sit there staring blindly ahead when I'm driving. You see this, mirror, check the mirrors, check the gauges, check the speed. I do that at least every 2 or 3 seconds. Scan everything. I want situational awareness. I want to know not only where I am, but where everybody around me is. And I want to get a good idea of what they're doing. And in my mind, I try to anticipate what they're likely to do so that I can take any kind of preemptive action to avoid getting involved with them. And that's how I drive. I don't relax when I drive. I'm very alert. So nobody's got to worry about me. Doesn't mean I can't have an accident. Yeah, some stupid shit with a cell phone texting will probably run into me. I can't help that. You can only try to avoid it. And you see them out there, distracted drivers. People, they're as bad as people who get in the left lane on a busy highway and go 10 miles under the speed limit and cause a backup to the next state behind them of angry people trying to get around it. I don't like to drive anymore. It's no pleasure. Too many people out there, especially here in Central Florida with Disney and tourists, and I'm right near Port Canaveral and all that other stuff, and people are always in a hurry to get where they're going. Happier these days just to stay home. Grace Lily says, Mitch, I just woke up. Well, welcome to the party. How you doing? How you doing, Lily? Mark Yost is here. Takes the crap out of carbohydrates. Yeah, no, they won't do that. They won't do that. That's what my daughter said. That was very nice. Very nice. That means I am catching up. Let's see here. But we keep this thing going. Obviously, somebody's interested in something because you all keep chatting with each other. And it's you guys who keep it going, not me. Peter's back. Went for a walk. And Peter says, still ranked number 2. Yeah. Now number 1. Was there any doubt who the most prolific poster in the chat said? It's an interesting name I don't recognize. Debbie Savings. Hi, Thomas and Aaron. Sorry about not remembering. I'm still trying to get to know everyone. How are you doing, Debbie? Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, it's a great group of people that we have here. I look forward to you guys every morning. Question from Francine Bourgeois at the bottom of the chat just came in. Do you have any news about Sherry Moore? No, I haven't heard from Sherry in months, since before my stroke. What happened? Is there a rumor, or did something happen to her? Now, I'm going to have to go look and see. Terry Sue says, Sherry hasn't been here in a long time. I check her channel now and then. Sandy Bly says, I follow Sherry Morgan. She posts every day. She just got tired of us, I guess. It happens. I get tired of people. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. You only got so much time in a day. You only have so much time. 9:33, 15 minutes behind. We're getting there. Those Q's, capital Q's, do stand out. I can scroll by them pretty quickly and catch them. There was the one that Francine said about Sherry. So I'm getting caught up. I'm almost to the end of it. 9:44. Yes, I'm almost there. And he says, Mitch, your last ticket was probably one where a former wife was backseat driving. That's funny. And there's Debbie. And I did it. And B says, Sherry Morgan's ears are ringing. Yeah, I'd like to see Sherry again. But obviously, maybe I did something to piss her off. Maybe I didn't show her enough love. She was very generous and very nice. But for some reason, she got unhappy with me. Not the first time in my life that a woman would get unhappy with me because there was something she thought I was supposed to be doing, which I didn't know anything about. I only did the best I could. So, Sherry posted today about makeup. I fast forward. I don't do makeup. Okay, Sandy. Oh, did you get a tooth fixed finally? Oh, that's glad to hear that. Sherry says she's so cute and bubbly. She is. She's a nice person. Got a good heart. At any rate, we got to the end of the chat, my friends. Only went 17 minutes overtime today, which is okay. I got a delivery coming from Sam's Club pretty soon. I bought another 6-pound bag of those hamburger patties. I'm down to my last paper towels. So I got a big bundle of Bounty paper towels coming. And what else did I buy? Oh, tub of pork rinds. So there you go. All the basics. What else could I possibly need? So listen, my friends. Thank everybody for coming. Debbie Savings says, Mitch, I just subscribed to you. I will try to participate when I can. I'm overly busy in life, but I will try to participate. Yes. Great, Debbie, and welcome. Here's a question. Jeremy Thacker, I have been carnivore for 9 months, 110 pounds down. Wow. In 9 months? That's crazy. No more leaky gut. How do you stop soda? Have one by noon, get a bad mind. That's a caffeine addiction and a sugar. Hopefully, you can't possibly be drinking other than diet soda and lose 110 pounds in 9 months. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you why you're getting the migraines. But can you tie it with no doubt to not drinking your caffeinated soda? And if that's the case, you got to wean yourself off. You can't just go cold turkey on it. You become so dependent on that caffeine that cutting it away completely is not the way to get rid of it. So what you have to do is drink 1 ounce, half an ounce less each day. And see if that doesn't do it. And if that doesn't do it, you got to slow down they call that titrating. Have you ever heard of that word, titrating? It means to make slow and gradual changes. You might have to dilute it with some water, dilute a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. And if it's soda, dilute it with San Pellegrino or seltzer, so it's still bubbly. And the same thing is true for coffee. You can try drinking weaker coffee, a little less coffee, to get yourself off of it. And that way you'll find out if it really is the caffeine. Other than that, Jeremy, good question. I think that without knowing more about you and your habits, I can't say any more than that, but thank you for the question. Thomas is here. Hey, Thomas. I don't know if I said hi to you. Okay, my friends. Little happy music. Gonna call it a day. I won't see you tomorrow. I will probably post some kind of a video tomorrow. And I will see you back here Sunday morning with Lori. Lori's going to be my guest. So don't miss that. And Lori, I will send you the link sometime before the chat, before the show. But I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully on Sunday we'll have just a good old time. So with all that being said, my friends, say goodbye to each other in the chat. I managed to go all day without hitting that back button on the mouse, dumping myself out of YouTube and have to go back in again. That's it. I can't think of anything else to say. I have said so much. It was great. I enjoyed it. So, as usual, my friends, you fade the music out. You know the drill. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.